what I tried here was bringing into the experiencing the concept we know from Gene so well, the expanded understanding of the human body, and this is in my sense what it is about, that the body, and I now tend to call it bodying, it's not a physical machine, but it's much easier to unfold, like now in experiencing. The body is not a thing by itself. Not even any living creature can be by itself. Gene said, we have at least plant bodies. At least plant bodies. What he means by that is that in a very deep sense, the plants knows all about the earth and the sun and the water. And it just knows it by living in and through the environment. And this is true for our human body, of course, too. We're living in and through the environment, but it keeps getting knocked over all the time. Inviting this larger interaction, all that nourishes us and holds us. And also explaining what this bodying language wants. It is true for inviting our organismic self-regulation. The body is so much older than we are. When you sense into all what it knows and does, the whole of evolution is in it all the time. So it's a vast implying. He writes this, that we are here and other places, and it's a gigantic system. I don't want this to be theory. And that's how I call this grounding into being here. And there is some of Heidegger in there, because he said being here, sein is ein in der Welt sein, a being in the world. That is his intention. He wants us to be in touch with that source where the living lives from. Grounding into being here and also the living from itself, for me, is a very fundamental basis also for how we work, because we are environment for each other all the time. And when somebody comes to therapy, they come into my environment, and the way I am in my body, the way I am also my body, is part of the interaction. If I tend to be worried about something, there is something in my body that may feel like this to the person, and they have no sense of what it might be. They may not even notice it consciously. So helping myself to be there, this is a wonderful offer for myself. There is this deep incongruence. I call it the big incongruence. Very often we have between our living body and culture. So we have a lot of imposing of culture all the time. And very often we forget listening into this organismic, I would say this bodily sensum underneath. But this is the base from which we make meaning. The felt sense is not a neutral path to truth. A felt sense is a constant interacting with everything there is here. So taking care of myself by going through the body puts me in a position where I can be more open, more present with somebody else. There is this bodying process language, and that is what I'm trying, or what I tried with my languaging is to address the qualities of the movement of a gesture or whatever. That is the quality, the vitality of a movement, and the intensity. I would not describe movements because I think one reason that movement, gesture, and body posture, why it was not so easily included, this quality tries to support that people, when you see their hand moving and you say something, they will immediately stop and feel as if they have been watched, observed, and you caught them. But when you have a different way of being with them, then you have, they can sustain sometimes the movement of a hand or a foot. And you can say, oh, it is, there is something really soft in your hand. Oh, there is some kind of energy in that shoulder moving there. So you give them the quality and not a mirror image. And that allows them more easily to stay in their body, because very often when you give them the mirror image, they lose it. And only then, when they can sustain their awareing in the moving, in the gesturing, in the, oh my God, the tense feeling here, then I may even say, oh, this is a very big circle coming out of this. I want to give you the example of dancers. When dancers want to learn a form, they look in the mirror. But when dancers improvise, they pull a curtain in front of the mirror, and that has, so I say bodying back, and I don't say reflecting or mirroring. We are bodying back, and we are interbodying or bodying out. I find it very important when we are working with the body, because it brings very different aspects in therapy alive, and we can be with our clients in a different quality.